Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a speed build of a ridiculously large house that's inspired from a few different posts I found on Pinterest. I'll go ahead and link all those down in the description box. I have no idea why I took on a house this big, but I love how it turned out. Playing with the size of the house and the bump outs and the roof took a little bit longer than it should have, I think. Looking back at me playing with the roof over the wraparound porch, like I should have just done a flat roof. Like using another floor. I don't know what I was thinking, but I made it look okay in the end. It's like an oversized blue Suburban. Originally, I was gonna go with a red paneling on the outside, but then it looked too much like a farmhouse in my opinion, so I changed it to that like country blue. I think it ends up looking really good, especially with the stone and everything on the outside. This little section ended up being for the stove in the kitchen. I saw it on a picture and I loved the concept of it, of like the little hideaway for the stove. It was so cute. I think I ended up representing it pretty well in The Sims. Obviously, it's kind of hard to get things sized correctly, but I think it ended up okay. I spent so long messing around with the upper cabinets. I ended up cutting most of it out of the video just because it took me ridiculously long to figure out what I wanted to do. You'll see later on that, like, what you see now isn't what you get in the end. That little light trick under the cabinets, I like doing that. I think it's a way to brighten up the kitchen without actually seeing lights, and I think like at least in houses I've been in that are sort of on the larger scale, it's pretty common to have that. I had so much fun with clutter in this kitchen. I made most of the objects float, so that way the counters are still usable and it doesn't register as an item on the counter. I find that useful for gameplay, but I also think it just makes it look more realistic. Because, like, especially like here, the container with the spatulas, like, that's always really close to the stove in real life. But this kitchen seemed really big to not have a lot of clutter. Otherwise, I feel like it would just look empty, so yeah, I don't think I overdid it, but I definitely added a lot. The science containers, I just sized them down. I thought they worked well in this. It looks like almost like a flour and sugar container. I don't think that style of teapot is one you would actually put on the stove, but I think it looked good. I thought this was a cute idea too, like putting dirty dishes in the sink. I've never done that before, but I think it ended up looking realistic to me. And the wine bottles and the cooking books on top of the fridge, to me, again, that's just like a realistic touch. It's something you would see in real life. This seating area, I kept it really simple. I just added a lot of plants here. I thought it made sense. And using plants was a way to fill in the empty space because realistically it just looked like a big empty space with a table in the middle. Because this house is so large, I also didn't limit myself on any packs I used. If I thought it fit well in the house, I put it in the build. This little reading nook, I love. I don't know, to me it's like this comfy, cozy, perfect place to read, and the bookshelves fit perfectly in there. Adding like the twinkle light touch, I don't know, it came out really cute in my opinion. Obviously I'm a little biased, but hey, whatever. Tied in the family's love of plants in this area too. It was hard filling all the empty space in this house. Like I tried to just find activity items to put where I needed items, I guess. This office color scheme is hideous. It's like that old, I don't know, maybe like 1960s, 1970s brown and almost green. But I also figure like the dad in this family probably just works all the time and hasn't updated his office in years, so I thought it worked well. This furniture that came in the Paranormal pack, I absolutely adore it. I've said it before, but in my opinion, it's just so cohesive. Like all the swatches match perfectly. It's furniture that looks real, in my opinion, which I think this game sometimes, I don't know, misses the mark on. So I have used it in literally every build since this pack was released. This little area, I have no idea what it would actually be. To me, it was just something to put in the space to fill it. This is another piece I use in almost all my builds. Usually I size it down, but the size of it fit perfectly on that wall. I ended up sticking a piano in front of it too. It looked nice. a simple entryway. This is the master bedroom, and they do have the bathroom right off of it. I wanted this to have a nice, almost country feel to it, like the furniture is all that darker wood. I don't know what wood types are. I'm sure someone does. I'm not that person. But it was just the wood and like ivory white colors. I gave the mom a nice vanity area. You'll see I added some clutter onto the vanity, and I carry that theme to her teenage daughter's room, sort of like mother like daughter, I guess. But I did keep this room really simple. In my mind, this room was set up to be more visually pleasing than actually functional. I have found in my life travels that that's usually how it works with houses like this. Like the living room and the master bedroom are usually set up to be visually pleasing and not necessarily functional for humans. This is their toddler girls' room. It ends up being very pink, very bright. It's a rather small room in comparison to the other ones, but I still managed to fit quite a bit of stuff in here. And again, the floating items I think just makes it look more realistic, instead of the items that are just snapped into the places on the surfaces. My main concern with this room was just making it very bright and very girly. This is their middle child. I had a boy in mind, someone that's into sports, trucks, cars, all the typical boy stuff, I guess. The color theme of the room is like a blue, green, black. And you'll see I made this room very messy with toys all over the place. I figured that was probably stereotypical for a child of this age. I put the kids' clutter on the floor, and then I just added a bunch of stuff in there. I did put the books in there, which are usable, so it can be used as a bookshelf, quote unquote, for the child. But yeah, I just resized a bunch of those truck, car, boat, train models down and put them everywhere on the floor. And sort of left the path from the door to the bed clear, because that's how a child's room looks. This is their teenage daughter's room, and I definitely explained it to my boyfriend as like an extra room. You'll see that there are lights everywhere, candles everywhere. Like I said, the clutter from the mother's vanity definitely carries into this daughter's room. You'll see on the floor by the mirror, lots of teenage girls will just do their hair and makeup on the floor right in front of their mirror, and that's definitely what this girl does. And it definitely has the feel of still being a child while also wanting to be an adult a little bit. You'll see that in the clothes rack I add. Yeah, she has all her like hair and makeup stuff, but then she also has her book bag and books and all that. Putting the corkboard in the middle of that lighted frame I thought was a really cool effect, especially for a teenager room. And of course, the posters. For the landscaping of this house, I did go a little overboard, but I thought that fit the character of the rest of the house just a little overboard. I used a mix of debug items in as well, just because I like how some of those look better than the plants that are in the game for us to use regularly. I didn't wrap the landscaping around the sides of the house. I just kept it focused on the front, and then there's one area in the back. I don't know, to me that looked better. Also more realistic, I think. People very rarely will wrap this around the entirety of the house. And here I had fun with those planters. You'll see I add the plants into them. I've seen other people do that, and I was like, wow, that is a really good idea. Not something I came up with on my own. This is another idea I did not come up with on my own, is making a sandbox. It's actually fully playable in-game. You can have your Sims build a sandcastle in here. I didn't know that, but since I learned that, I was like, wow, that is a really good idea for houses that have kids. It makes sense. Yeah, other than that, I kept the exterior of the house really simple. I focused mainly on the interior. I hope you guys like it. These are some screenshots. Please like and subscribe if you did. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!